I don't think that when you start a business, you ever have a vision of how large it's going to become. You go into things not knowing the risk, and I think that that's been good for me. I was born in Galveston, Texas, but moved to El Dorado, Arkansas when I was 5 years old. My father was a chemical engineer. He was very successful in his career, but what I really didn't realize at the time is that he was a civic leader, and he was always such a great motivator and encourager of me. I was very much of a rule follower in high school. In fact, I was DAR Good Citizen. I was state president of Y-Teens, treasurer of the senior class, and editor of the newspaper, and decided that I would major in journalism in college. I decided to go to the University of Arkansas. I pledged Chi Omega, which is a very important sorority to me. I'm still very active in it. I'm on the foundation advisory board. I worked on the school newspaper, and then I became co-editor of the annual. The day I graduated, I got a phone call from ABC offering me a job as a dictaphone typist at $2 an hour. And I was so thrilled. I went to Little Rock. 6 months after I'd been there, they promoted me to assistant promotion manager. The manager was actually my age. One day, he said, "Would you get me coffee?" And I said, "Can you get the coffee yourself?" The next day when I went in, he said, "Well, you didn't bring coffee yesterday." They let me go. I was really devastated at the time. But then I bounced back and I got a job with Associated Milk Producers at $500 a month. So it all worked out. One day, I got a phone call from one of my sorority sisters. Her sister-in-law was looking for a roommate in Houston, Texas. 2 weeks later, I packed up my clothes and moved in with a girl that I'd never met. I didn't have a job. I didn't know anyone in Houston, and I had $500. I started going to personnel services to have them help me find a job. One of the personnel services said to me, "Well, would you be interested in being a recruiter? It's straight commission." So I called my father and I said, "Dad, what do you think?" He said, "Well, Sue, I think you should try it." Now I was taking a big risk to take a job that didn't even pay me any money. My first month, I placed 12 people, which was really a big success. And then my second month, I didn't place any. I wanted to quit, and my manager said, "You're really going to be very good in this industry. You've got to stay here." A few months later, I became manager at the age of 24, and I got married to Rusty Burnett. Rusty said, "I think you ought to start your own company." Women could not borrow money from the bank. You had to have your husband co-sign. And I said to Rusty, "I think I want to do this." So we used my car as collateral, and we got a $10,000 loan. I started my company in 1974. We started as a direct hire placement recruiting company. I wrote all of our ads. I was the main salesperson, but also filling jobs, and I would go out and call on companies. I was very persistent. Oil companies started moving to Houston and hiring a lot of people. I was able to get in with Exxon. One of the companies that moved to Houston was Aramco. I knew that they had an exclusive with my main competitor. I kept calling the HR manager over and over, "If you would just give me one job that maybe they haven't been able to fill, and let me see whether or not I could fill it." "Well, there is this executive secretarial position that we haven't been able to fill," and he told me about it. And I called the applicant while I was sitting at his desk. She went in and she got the job. And after that, I started placing over 20 people a month with that company. But then in 1982, oil companies started laying off people by the hundreds.
He said that Exxon had decided to shut down 850 service stations in the Northeast and the Midwest.
Half of my business went bankrupt. I had to go to my parents to say, "I need for you to loan me some money." In 1987, things picked back up. I was able to pay them off, And then in 2001, I was able to grow by a couple of acquisitions. And we also have a fairly large staff because we're in 5 different cities in Texas. We've been able to make our employees owners of the company, and that makes me very proud. As an employee-owned company, our stock has grown 370%. It has shown my staff that there is a future for our company. It's been a wonderful career. I really love being active in the community. It's been very exciting to be involved with the journalism school at the University of Arkansas. I started giving scholarships to journalism students. One day I was up there meeting my winners, Larry Foley, who was head of the journalism department. He said, but you know, our television station's in the basement, it's in terrible shape, and we really need a new building, but we have to have a major donor. So we donated the money. When the board of directors of the university approved it, they also approved a $4 million renovation of the entire journalism building. It's a tremendous honor to me to be in the Arkansas Business Hall of Fame, being able to help other people and to make an influence on their lives. That to me is true success. It was a huge surprise, and I'm very honored to receive this award.